Hello, my name is Tim. My company is Sports and Touring, and we are Jaguar F-Type specialists. Now, the 5-litre F-Type in the early years was built in two variants, the S and the R, 500 and 550 horsepower respectively, and rear-wheel drive. After not very long, Jaguar decided that all of the Rs should be all-wheel drive only. And so there are only a few of those rear-wheel drive F-Type Rs in the market. This one has got me particularly excited. It delivers, of course, classic, quintessential sports car handling and performance. This example looks stunning in Rhodium Silver with design pack in body colour and with carbon pack. We've put it on freshly refurbished 20-inch cyclone wheels. We can offer you other wheel options, of course. It is in stunningly good condition with low mileage and great history. And I'm very excited indeed to show you around. You may have spotted that the growler badge in the middle of the grille there is in gloss black on this particular F-Type. And that little detail tells me that a lot of thought went into the precise specification of this car from the factory. It works really well. The design pack in silver works really well too. And with carbon pack on the car, the details of the mirror caps, power vents and bonnet vents all in carbon there. We selected these beautiful cyclone wheels in dark shadow chrome. Because we specialise in F-Types, we keep quite a wide variety of wheels in our workshop. And if you said, yes, I like this car, but I'd like it on some different wheels, we can talk to you about that, of course, and about different tyre options as well. Coming round to the back end of the car, and again we see this silver paint works so well with the form and the shape of the rear end. It's a delightful way that the paint picks out the lines, the compound curves towards the rear end of the car. And of course, standing behind the F-Type V8, it's those quad tailpipes, isn't it, that catch the eye and dominate the scene. Again, this particular car is in stunningly good order. You may know that we have obsessively high standards here at Sports and Touring. That is what we've made our mark with, really. And this particular car lives up to those with the greatest of ease. The paint is bright, shiny. There are no marks to suggest it's been abused in those awful mechanical car washes. Clearly, this car has been diligently cared for and is in spectacularly good fashion, both outside and, as we'll see now, inside. We'll supply the car, of course, with 2 remote key fobs and the owner's book pack, but one of the extra cost options is keyless entry, so the little button there on the door handle enables you just to tap and the car unlocks, the power fold mirrors move out into position, and we can open the door and look into this beautiful cockpit. Finished in jet leather with contrast white stitching and with these beautiful performance seats, unusually in suede cloth and leather. And there's a good practical reason for that, because the suede cloth, of course, is much warmer when the car is cold and much cooler when the car is warm than the leather equivalent. Panning round to take in the door card, again we can see some beautiful suede cloth detail there, and the condition of this door card, in fact the condition of the whole cockpit, is exemplary. Again, we've got the contrast stitching there on the door handle, and then we can see we have Meridian surround sound, the very top audio package in this car, and the top package as well of the 14-way electric memory seats. The tread plate, carpet mats, all in fabulous condition. And then we can sit down into the car and take in this beautiful cockpit. And as I always say, it's a mix of science and art. You have these beautiful design touches, the shape, for example, of the shift paddles, the shape of this gorgeous handle that comes between the driver's area and the passenger area, again with a touch of suede cloth trim on. It's a very aesthetically pleasing thing, but also ergonomically very, very well worked out. All of the controls are logical and easy to use, and add to, they don't detract from the driving experience, which is not quite what I found in every other manufacturer's designs, shall we say. Looking around in more detail, and up above us there, this huge panoramic sunroof, which lets the light absolutely flood in. If that's a bit too much on a hot day, slide the screen across and block the light out, and the temperatures will lower in the cockpit. And of course, the air conditioning in these cars is fabulous. We've got a handy stowage there between the two headrests, and coming down from there, the armrest. Lift that up and you can see that we have a CD DVD player, the 12-volt socket, a pair of USB sockets for charging your electrical things, and an auxiliary input for the audio system as well. Forward from there, and the twin cup holders for your refreshments, and there's a little recess there in the middle where you could put one of those small drinks cans, which you see in so many places now. And coming forward, we will fire up the supercharged V8 in order to take in the rest of this cockpit in detail. So finger on the start button, foot on the brake, and you'll see the instruments do their little self-test flying display, and you'll see the centre air vent rise correctly and smoothly up into position as we start. You'll have noticed as well the steering column moved downwards, so it was in the access position, moved up slightly out of the way to enable me to get in and out easily, and then when you start the car up, of course, it moves down into the pre-selected driving position that matches the memory position you've selected on the seats. You'll see there on the instrument display, by the way, auto headlamp dipping on this particular car, another extra cost option. Okay, back to the centre console, and these buttons here give you the Eco Stop Start Defeat, a button for the deployable spoiler that comes up and goes down at set speeds, but you can also put it up and put it down using the button there. If I pan round, you'll see that it's up at the moment, and then I press and hold the button and down it goes. Back to the switches, and we've got the traction control off. Do be a little cautious with that the first time that you decide to try it, because the traction control in this car is very good. It doesn't interfere with your driving, but it certainly keeps things on the rails very effectively when they need to be kept on the rails. Then the button for the switched active sports exhaust, those valves in the exhaust which open either when you press the button like so, or when you put the car into dynamic mode, and I'll talk about that more in a moment, and give you that throatier exhaust note, which is such an important part of F-Type ownership, it really is. Electronic parking brake with hill start assist, of course. And then we come to the driving mode selector. So at the moment we're in standard, or as I tend to call it, vanilla driving mode. In fact, there's nothing really vanilla about it. Every driving mode in this car is spectacularly engaging. But from here we go forwards into rain, ice and snow mode. Very handy in slippery conditions in the winter. The throttle map in particular is very much deadened in rain, ice and snow mode to make driving this powerful car easier in those tricky road conditions. Back into standard mode, and then we go back there into the dynamic mode, or tutti frutti mode as I like to call it, and you can see the instrument binnacle lights up red. We get a little message saying dynamic mode confirmed, and that sharpens up various features around the car in order to deliver a more dynamic and engaged driving experience. Back over here, and we'll pop the car back into standard mode and look at the shift stick. Beautiful piece of design. There's a trigger on the front there which enables you to use the shift stick to select drive, for example, and then in drive move the shift stick to the side. You're now in sports gearbox mode, and in sports gearbox mode you can shift up and down using the shift stick there. Always possible to use the flappy paddles on the steering wheel, of course, and they are arguably the better way of shifting gear, because of course you keep your hands on the wheel and the car under absolutely total control at all times. But if you'd like to, reach back into days of yore and lower your left hand down here to shift gear, you can do, of course, in sports gearbox mode. And to select park mode, just press the P and the car takes care of those things itself. Forward to the climate controls, and we've got auto climate, air conditioning, timed recirculation, front and rear demist, and the front electric demist. So this windscreen has those tiny wires running through it which heat up and clear the windscreen so very effectively if it is cold and icy. Then we've got the temperature selectors, which enable you to dial in the temperature that you wish in the cabin here. And up from there we find the infotainment screen. Often looks very bright in the video. I apologise for that, but I'll do my best to chat through it rapidly. We're here on the home screen, and we can go left to the home screen to the left here, where we see we've got a number of options set up on the shortcuts menu. Now, you set these to your personal preference as you get to know the car and as you get to know which things you'd like to have access to immediately. So you could, for example, have your favourite radio station, or navigate me back home, or navigate me to the office, or whatever you like. Back to the main home screen, and we have the audio sources here, so DAB radio, AM and FM radio, and then if we go to My Music, then you will see that we have a number of options there where we can choose Bluetooth from a phone, iPod, DVD or CD, auxiliary input, USB stick or stored CDs. So when you play a CD in this car, you can download or upload rather that CD into the car's jukebox, as it were, and then you can replay it from the jukebox without having to have the CD in the slot. And back to the home screen here, we can see we've got Bluetooth telephony, of course, then the climate control screen, and this is where you set the direction of flow of the climate air, and you can also go into the climate settings and so forth. Back to the home screen, and again we have the satellite navigation. So very clear, very crisp, very easy to use, easy to program with your destination and so forth. And you can zoom in and out and all of those things on the display, of course. Back to the home screen, and we will go to the right and see the extra features screen, where we've got configurable ambient lighting. So if I select that, we can change the colour of the lighting in the car. For example, we might want red lighting, and you'll see there that the interior lighting has turned red. If I select blue, it turns blue, and so forth, and we can change the brightness as well. And again, if we go back to our extra features screen, another extra cost option on this V8 is dynamic eye. So if you're in dynamic driving mode, like so, remember, then here you can choose My Setup or Factory Setup. And in Factory Setup, you will see that, if I put back to Factory Setup there, you'll see that gear shift, suspension, steering and engine are all in dynamic modes, as you can see there. A very useful way of getting the car set up. And also from this screen you access the stopwatch, G-meter and the pedal position indicator for accelerator and brake, and it has a graph as well. If you go and do a track day, your instructor may use that to brief and debrief you on your handling of the car through particular parts of the track perhaps. Okay, over here on the steering wheel then, we've got the left thumb cluster with the infotainment controls and Bluetooth telephony button. On the left stalk, we've got the automatic headlamps, and on the right thumb cluster here, we've got the cruise control and active speed limiter, and on the right stalk there, the rain sensitive wipers. And then finally, just by my right knee here, you can see that we've got the rear fog light, the boot release and the dimmer for the instrument binnacle. And look right down there into the footwell, and you can see that this car, another extra cost option, is the stainless steel pedal pack, which looks great and is wonderful to use as well, with very good non-slip rubber matting in it. Not only brilliantly equipped, but the condition of this cockpit is just fabulous. No marks, no blemishes, no signs of distress anywhere on the leather or the suede cloth or any of the other furnishings. It really is in fabulously good order. Okay, we'll switch the engine off and take a look in the boot. Another of the extra cost options on this F-Type is the powered tailgate. So a press on the remote fob there and the tailgate rises up on its powered struts, and we can look into this very large space. Over 300 litres of room in the F-Type Coupe boot. And that is because Jaguar knew that they wanted to make a practical sports car which was as at home going to play a round of golf, for example. You can get a set of golf clubs in here, or off to other sporting events, or indeed on a touring holiday. Plenty of room in here. It is a slightly unusual shape, so if you are going to go touring for a long time, I'd recommend picking up one of those bespoke baggage sets, which is designed to make the best use of the boot space, and also to look very stylish when you're travelling. The boot space extends right out into the wheel, the area behind the rear wheel arches, of course, and there is a handy stowage here under the boot floor as well. If you're off on European tour, for example, that's a good place to put all of your safety gear, which the French authorities particularly insist upon. Closing the boot, just press the button there, or on the key fob, of course, and down it comes. And we can come around and have a look at the passenger side of the car. We have two-stage unlocking enabled at the moment, so the driver's door unlocks with the first press, and to unlock the passenger door we need to do that, provided that the key is in my pocket here, which it is. The door will unlock, of course. And again, the door card, sensationally good, I would dare say, as it left the factory, in very beautiful order. And panning round, we can see that the tread plate, the carpet mat, dashboard, center console, and this beautiful performance seat, all similarly in very excellent condition. So we'll move on next and take a look under that big F-type bonnet. And so there is the cover on top of the supercharger, on top of the V8 engine, 5 litres of V8 power, which take this F-Type from 0 to 60 in just 4.2 blisteringly quick seconds, and on through the 8-speed ZF gearbox to a top speed which is artificially limited at 186 miles per hour. And those are very impressive numbers indeed, aren't they? But they are not what this car is about. The F-Type is not a drag racing car. The F-Type is about the experience you have sitting in that cabin, in that driver's seat, and the way it connects you with your journey and with the road and with your progress and with your destination. That is the essence of F-Type ownership, having a very beautiful car which delivers the most astonishingly good driving experience too. You can see under the bonnet everything in fabulous order, crisp and clean. This car has an excellent service history, 9 main dealer services, and it has passed all of our inspections and tests with great ease. It is running superbly. I've driven it quite some distance myself, and it drives just brilliantly well. Really the epitome, perhaps, if you're into rear-wheel drive motoring, of the F-Type range. And again, the condition this car is in, everywhere you look, is so good. It is waiting to delight its next keeper, I have absolutely no doubt. So thank you very much indeed for watching. It's been a great pleasure to show you this beautiful F-Type. We're Sports and Touring. We're just outside Andover in Hampshire, open 7 days a week by appointment only. You're very welcome to telephone, email or WhatsApp us if you've got any questions about the car, or if you'd like to arrange to see it either in person or by video call. It'll be our pleasure to send you a link to our Google Drive. That's our online folder for the car with higher resolution images which you can zoom in on, and PDF copies of important documents. If you've got a car to dispose of on your buying journey, we'll give you frank and honest advice about the best way to achieve the maximum value with the minimum inconvenience. And if you'd like to chat about finance, we can do that as well. We're authorised and regulated by the FCA, and we work with a really brilliant broker. Do please take a few moments to read our reviews in Auto Trader. I'm very proud indeed of the things that our previous customers say about us. And I'll close by saying thank you once again. Please feel free to like and subscribe to us here on YouTube, and we will look forward to hearing from you very soon. Contact details coming next.